There are many focuses here at IMTS 2018, some of which include the next generation of the manufacturing industry, closing the skills gap, and how to best educate to bring those into the manufacturing industry. Well, someone who knows a lot about that is sitting right next to me. This is John Silveria, and he is the Executive Director of the American Center for Student-Run Manufacturing Businesses. So John, talk to us. What is the American Center for Student-Run Manufacturing Businesses?
Well, it's a nonprofit that we started last year. Actually, we went through the 501c3 process with the IRS and got approved last year. And it was started to try and help schools replicate the Cardinal Manufacturing student-run business model throughout the country. We want to go out and help these schools start this business, and it's very, very innovative, and we're hoping to see a lot of success in the coming days.
So just started in 2017. Where did the inspiration come from?
Well, it actually came, I saw the cover of Modern Machine Shop magazine here at the IMTS show in 2012, and I saw this story about Cardinal Manufacturing and Craig Cegelski, and he's an inspiring teacher, and I read it, and I saw the video that was done by Creative Technology, and it was just fantastic, and I said, I'd love to get involved in this, and one thing led to another, and we decided the only way we could help is to maybe get a nonprofit going and get out there and share this with the nation.
Well, how does this student-run business model operate within a school?
Okay, the way it works is Craig Cegelski, the teacher, is more like a CEO at a company, right? So he's basically overseeing this. What it does is it's a real business, and it's 100% run by the students, and so they're doing manufacturing parts in the 11th and 12th grade. They're making real parts for real people with real money, and they're getting some profit sharing, and they're working with their industry partners. It's all run through local shops, and the local manufacturers love it. At least the ones that we're associated with anyway. So,
well, this student-run business model is a proven win-win for all parties involved. So let's go through those parties and find out how, starting with the students, of course. How do they benefit?
Well, I think the students, the ones that I've talked to, they just love it. They get out there and they say, you know, it's not boring. They get to do all the hands-on stuff. They program with the CNC equipment. They program the parts. They set up the parts. They run the parts. A lot of the girls, they run the office, they do the accounting, the marketing, they do everything in the whole business. And so when they're done, they basically, not only do they have these manufacturing skills and some soft skills, they have skills to run a business. I mean, it's fantastic.
Well, now we have to have somebody to teach this program. So what about the teachers? What are their benefits?
Well, I think any teacher who goes to maybe one of Craig's workshops and sees how it all works and sees the kids, they would say, you know, if Craig Cegelski can start a program like in his school like this, and he doesn't have to go and ask for grants all the time because, you know, he doesn't have any money to run a program, the teacher, you know, Craig doesn't do that. So he's still continuing to have a fantastic program. It's growing all the time, and it's getting better all the time. So I don't know any teacher that wouldn't want to do that.
Well, what about the schools? How do they benefit?
Well, the schools, I mean, you know, at Craig's school, you know, what they say is, you know, that they have a pretty decent football team, but they say that the school itself, the people in the community and everything, they're so excited about this manufacturing program, it's as popular as the football team is.
All right, industry partners. We have to have some other people involved in this, outside of education, of course. What is an industry partner and how do they benefit?
Absolutely. The industry partners are the folks in the local area that are typically into manufacturing, maybe welding, maybe machining, you know, something else. And so they get involved and they say, well, you know, what advantage is it for an industry partner to do this, right? So everyone we talk to is looking for employees. You know, they need workers. And they also, in this case, they can get their parts done for, you know, 25 cents on a dollar or something like that. I mean, it's a discount for them. They get involved. They know the kids. They can hire the kids, which they do. And I mean, it's like you said, win-win for everybody.
Perfect. Okay, well, this model has amazing benefits to manufacturing education. In fact, a few of them are unequaled. So I hear. Is this true?
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. Okay, I'll talk about some of the unequaled ones, okay? It becomes self-funding and self-sustaining. So, okay, so you don't have to go out and get a grant every year to keep your program going. And for instance, when I was younger and started to grow, when the school got their budget cut, the shop classes were the first to go. So now what I say is, in this model, if you replicate this model, the last thing to go is going to be the shop classes. All the other lights in the school are going to be turned off, but the shop lights are still going to be on.
Well, if a school is interested in starting a student-run business program, where do they get started? What do they do? How does the process happen?
Typically, I'd get a call from, let's say you were a faculty member or a superintendent or something. I get a call and I would go over this with you on the telephone, and then I would, of course, share the website with you and say, have you seen the videos and that sort of thing, and are you really interested? I'd do maybe a go-to-meeting with you, and then I would suggest that you go back to your board and your faculty and your staff and just kind of, mull over it and decide, is this something we really want to do? Does this fit our school? If it does, then we suggest that we come out and we put on a community meeting. And what that means is we get the faculty together, we get the potential students that could be involved and their parents. We talk to the industry partners in the area, we invite them, and also legislators in the area, and we show them this whole thing and present this to them, and I explain how it all works, and then we go from there to take the steps to help them get going. A lot of times they'll go to Craig's workshop. He's got a full day workshop, and so that's kind of how we get it going.
Well, what would you like to see happen in the coming year?
Well, in the coming year, what I would like to see is us be able to do as much as we can to replicate the business, to help schools start the business, to help our nation as a whole. We know that I think one of the things I forgot to say about the unequal benefits was we're starting a new thing with automation, and so we're going to be having robots in the schools, and we're going to run these parts during the day. We'll spend maybe a month in this cell, the kids will, and then during the night we're going to run lights out. We're going to generate more income for the school. We're going to generate more income for the industry partner, and we're going to ask that industry partner to give back. We're going to say, look, if you're saving 75% on this job, we would like to ask you to give back and lower your cost to your customer. And secondly, we're looking to raise teacher salaries. There's a lot of people out here in industry that we would love to have as a teacher, but right now they can't afford to be a teacher. They can't afford to take a pay cut. I have a teaching certificate for the state of Idaho, and I went back to my local high school and I said, I'd like to do some of this in the school. And the guy says, well, John, we have to start you out as a beginning teacher at $28,000 a year. And I said, oh my word, I can't do that. But I really want to help, but I can't do that. So now I think we're coming up with a ways that we can do it. So we're really excited about this. We're hoping that in the future, if people learn what we're doing and get behind it and get excited like I did, maybe they'll come in and help us get it done and help our nation. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
So if you want to get it done, help your school, help your community, even help your nation, be sure to visit studentrunbusiness.com for more information. And that was John Silveria, who is the Executive Director of the American Center for Student-Run Manufacturing Businesses.